This is Candace Allen, and this is Girls Only Hoops. This is the episode that you want to watch. It is the pre-show for the 2024 OHSAA Girls State Basketball Tournament. Myself, Tenishia Benson, and Angie Saiter, we go through all the divisions, talk about the key players, key matchups, the times and dates, all the information you need to know. So please check us out. Again, follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, subscribe, all of that good stuff. We'll have all updates from the Girls State Tournament this week and weekend. Again, this is Candace Allen, Girls Only Hoops. Watch out for the pre-show and good luck at the tournament. And we're back. This is Girls Only Hoops, the state preview show. Candace Allen, Angie Saiter, Tenishia Benson. We're going to waste no time. We're going to get into it, break down all these Final Four teams. You see them here on the screen. Let's get to it. Division 4. We got 4 number 1 seeds. Loudonville versus Waterford, and then Fort Loramie versus Convoy Crestview. Let's start with the first matchup between Loudonville, who's 26-2, and then Waterford, 23-3. We had the opportunity of seeing Waterford, Avery Wagner, Kendall Surrey, that team, that grit, like, they're on a mission.
I mean, let me tell you a little something. They might bend a little bit here and there, but they don't break. And they really, really showed it Saturday night. I was incredibly impressed with the poise that they came out with in the third quarter. And I know that, Candace, you and I talked, going into just before the third quarter started, like, what do they need to do? And the first 3-4 minutes were critical, and they came out strong.
They upped that pressure.
I agree with that statement. They don't break. I'm still a Loudonville girl. Mr. Bates is a good friend of mine, and I got a chance to talk with him before the show just about, it took him 7 years. Literally 11 years ago, guys, they only won 3 games. So you talk about trusting the process and building from scratch. This team, that coaching staff has done it. So they are going into this tournament. Again, I'm telling you what I know. They going in there believing. They're not taking nothing for granted. So it's going to be good.
So we have a complete turnaround team, and then we have a team who won the state championship, in 2022. So this could be a matchup.
I think it's going to be close. I don't think this is going to be some kind of blowout either way. I don't think Loudonville's going to run away with a 30-point victory. Although their last game, they won by, 35, 40 points. Ooh. Yeah. So, but I don't see that happening in this game. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, the first game, Loudonville versus Waterford, that'll be the first game on Thursday, March 14th. That game tips off at 11 p.m. And then the second matchup in Division 4 is Fort Loramie, who is 26-2 on the season, and Convoy Crestview, who is 26-2 on the season. What do you guys think about this matchup?
Angie, what you got?
Oh, man. I don't know. I think this one's going to be tight, too. I really do. Man, some of these are hard. Yeah. Some of these are more difficult than others. I think this is going to be another close match.
This is the harder division, in my opinion, because they're so similar. I think the margin of error is so tight and small. This is my 1-year-old, guys. And she agrees with that statement. This is super tight just because the margins, a lot of them like to, 5 out. They're going to penetrate, get it out, look for the open man. They're going to press a little bit. They're going to, defend. It's just so similar, a lot of them, that it's going to be that one thing that team does well, and they've got to do it well the entire game, or in those spurts to be able to win it. It's going to be that. It's going to go down to that. It's not going to be like a complete blowout. I agree with you, Angie.
And I think, too, I think also, I think free throws are going to be more critical in these next games. I think, Candace, we kind of saw that Saturday. They add up.
Yeah.
And when you have an opportunity to,
no more 1-and-1s, 5-team fouls, double bonus. You get in some of these knockout, drag out fights, free throws are going to be, like you said, huge.
I think so too. And again, kind of going back to the little bunny shots too. You can't miss those, right. Not in these games. And I think it really could come down to that with both of these games. Anyone that's not knocking down from the shots from the charity stripe, anyone that's like, where it feels like there's like a lid on the rim on the inside shots, I think something that small could be the deciding factor for both games.
Yeah. Fort Laramie and Convoy Crestview tips off at 1 p.m. on Thursday. So both of the Division IV semifinals will happen this Thursday. Once again, Loudonville versus Waterford, Fort Laramie versus Convoy Crestview. All of them 1 seeds got the job done and will meet up in the semifinals. We're going to move it right along for Division III. And as you see on the screen, Columbus Afrocentric, the 8-time state champion, sounds redundant because we say it all the time. They're a 2 seed, 26-6. The number 2 LaGrange Keystone, who are undefeated. Number 1 seed Ottawa Glandorf, 25-2, and a 1 seed Portsmouth, 22-5. So let's start with that top matchup. You have a state champion, and then you have a team on an undefeated season. So first, let's start off. If you caught a little of that game between Afrocentric and Alter, Afrocentric went on a run. They upped that defensive pressure, got enough stops when they did. What do you think about their chances coming into another state final?
Afrocentric is going to be hard to beat. I am not changing my statement. It's their crown. They know it. But a team that has won it 8 times, they're not coming in arrogant. That's not a team that does it that many times. They're coming in confident, but understand that as many times they've won 8 times, they've also lost sometimes too. So they know that feeling of coming in overly, cocky, like I'm going to do. No. They're going to come in with a game plan on how to execute. And that's what makes them so hard to beat, is because they're going to do it on the offensive end and on the defensive end. I just think that's going to be, I think it could be a very good matchup, because the team, Keystone, is very chippy and scrappy, and, they like to get near the basket, not necessarily to score, but to distribute. Mm-hmm. And so if you overhelp, that kick out is going to be there. And then, it's gone. You see it?
I saw that. That was solid. That was solid. I kind of like the finger roll myself, but I think if Afrocentric comes out playing the defense that they typically play, I think it's their game. Mm-hmm. I think they are. I think I'll just throw this out there, not trying to intermix the different divisions, but I think Afrocentric and Pickerington Central's defenses are outstanding. Mm-hmm. And when they are all clicking, meaning all 5 children that are on the court at that time, and they are in sync with their defense, it is hard, very, very hard to get past that.
For sure.
So I think Afrocentric has the edge on this.
And LaGrange Keystone, undefeated. You said that they were scrappy. What are some things that they may need to do? Like you said, you're coming in, you don't want to be intimidated by a team who has that kind of reputation of just winning all the time. But you're an undefeated team, and this seems to be your year. So what do you think their chances are and their mindset is coming into this game?
I think they're going to stick with what they know. Like, they're not afraid of teams putting points on them. No, they've played against teams that have dominated them near the paint. And teams that, they played Warrensville Heights, guys. Athletic, runners. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So they've already had this experience. They are not going to go away from that. They're going to trust in what they do.
I think if they keep their poise, break the press, because you know that Afrocentrics want to put the press on. I think they break that several times. Then that makes Afrocentric maybe think, well, we're going to back this off some. Because if they break the press easily and they show that 5 or 6 times, you know, they may back that off and then focus more on half court traps and their half court defense. So I think that will be
Angie, you said Afrocentric's going to take off their press. Is that what you said? You said Afrocentric's going to take off their press. Angie, I know that's not what you said. Ooh, Janisha is going to call us tonight. And she's going to say, I was like,
wait,
what?
No. Her advice was for Keystone to break it enough to take off their press.
That maybe.
You're going to get us in trouble, Angie.
Hold up.
I mean, Keystone handled it very well against Warrensville. They did. I don't think that.
True.
I think that it's gonna be a matter of Afrocentric wanting to take a break. I think Afrocentric. This is what they do. Like, remember how I talk about the differences? It's gonna be the team that's gonna do what they do well, and they're going to nail it. This is. I don't care if they're playing a Division I team, a nationally ranked team. They are going to press you the entire game unless they decide not to. Now, Keystone, I love that they played Warrensville Heights because that was a good test for them. Honestly, that helped them out a lot. Mm-hmm. I think that makes this game. I am not saying it's close, but it does help Keystone to go in there confident.
It makes it interesting.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, makes it interesting. Afrocentric and Keystone, both 2 seeds, will tip off Thursday at 6 p.m. And then the late game on Thursday will be a battle between 2 number 1 seeds, Ottawa Glandorf 25-2, and then Portsmouth 22-5. So I'm putting it back on you guys once again. What's our thoughts about this matchup? I did see Portsmouth in action. They have quite a few players that can cause some damage. But what do you guys think?
Go ahead, Angie. Let's hear this one. This is gonna be good.
Wait, can I rewind just for like 10 seconds back to Afrocentric?
Go right ahead.
Right, because I'm starting
to you were going back to that.
Probably going. I want to be getting like a daggone text message from Coach.
No, but this is how we make the show interesting.
I know, and then she's going to call me out, and then those girls are going to put me in a trap on the court.
Coach Shaq is definitely watching the show. I just want to let you know that. She's already said it earlier.
I know that.
So she is aware of
what I meant to say was, if they like break their press like many times in a row, maybe she just like for like a moment or two, it's like playing cat and mouse a little bit. Like she like takes it off for like a half second and then she like puts it back on. That's
okay. So you said she's gonna put it back on though.
Yeah.
Yes. She's definitely gonna put it back on. And if Keystone is not prepared for that, that's gonna be interesting. But like I said, I think Keystone going to this game confident. I mean, you had a good test with Warrensville Heights. There's some similarities between those teams, and you did well.
Yes, there is.
So I mean, aggressively half court, Warrensville Heights get after it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think if I'm Keystone, I'm going in confident. I don't care how many times you
I'm undefeated. I'm going.
This is the year you're gonna lose. Yeah.
But
okay, now I feel better.
Okay, Ottawa.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Okay.
Ottawa.
All right. I think Katie Kaufman continues to dominate inside. I think that's going to be very strong. I think that Carson, is it Erford? I think that's her name. I think I'm saying it right. I am so sorry that I butcher sometimes kids' names. But I think it's going to be key for her to knock down some threes because she can, and she does. So I think that those are going to be some keys that Kaylin Grothaus, she's got a great motor. and she runs the offense very, very well. So I think those are going to be some keys that will have to continue for this. I don't know. What do you all think?
I mean, this is the old with the new.
Mm-hmm.
You got some babies in Portsmouth that have never done this before. And so you kind of got to take that into consideration. But I've seen some young bucks go out there and just don't care. And just literally forget about the moment. It was just like, I'm out here, and this is what it is.
The story of this tournament, too, is like, seniors, this juniors, sophomores is running the show.
Yeah. I mean, you've got this has been the tournament of the underdogs. And let's be honest, when you're talking about winning state championships, you don't think about the underdogs being younger kids. I mean, you don't think about the winners being younger kids. These are freshmen. These are little people, like, you know what I mean? Young people. And I love all of them, Sienna, I love all of them. But they're young. And Ottawa is going to, they are going to go hard in the paint, okay? They are going to punch it down, period. Like, you better be ready. Because, and then how they rebound on the offensive boards.
Yeah.
Everybody crashes. So they're getting second chance points. You know what I mean? It's just stuff like that. Again, doing what you do well the entire game to where they can create gaps, right? And I think them young girls from Portsmouth, they got a motor and they got skill.
Should they
I do too.
Push the pace? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got skill.
Yeah. Instead of dumping, you got a team that dumps it down in the post, just push it.
If I'm Portsmouth, I'm pushing the pace. I'm not playing. I don't want to go half court with them. No, I'm sorry.
No.
I wouldn't want to do that. Run.
Mm-hmm.
Use them young legs.
In my mind, I can still run like that. In my mind, man, I can go coast to coast with the rock.
Well, we always got to take a sidebar. Somebody was running up and down the sidelines, up and down the bleachers.
Kayla, can we, our producer, Kayla, can we get that video someday and put it on here? Me and Candace were looking like there's no way Angie has left the set, takes her headphones off, and beelines down literally 32 steps at Otterbein, and then laps the gym as if she's about to warm up. And this is during warm-ups of an OHSAA regional game.
I know.
I'm like, nobody
and I will really
in the history of basketball, girls basketball would do that but Angie. Nobody. And do it so well. Because she wasn't even gassed. That's the crazy part. She didn't.
Oh no.
She was cool.
She was ready for the game. That was in game.
She was ready for the game. The officials looking at her like, "Are you good?" Yeah, it was the officials looking at
Angie's coach, and I was like, "I'm ready. I'm really legit
ready." And then she was high-fiving people on the. I was like, "She is ready." Like,
we're gonna have to put that video in. But yeah, that's what Portsmouth is gonna have to do. Push the pace, and then we kind of see that too. When you talk about teams have to do what they do well. What we have seen throughout the tournament is like there's some counters that coaches are putting in that's being really effective. That anytime you get out of your rhythm, they're gonna jump on it. We've seen it a little bit with Highland. We've seen it for at least a half with Bishop Watterson and Pick Central until Pick Central got control in the end. But we've seen teams try to play a game and play a matchup and at least for 3 quarters be kind of effective, but before teams can get back on track. So that's another thing. Is just like, come in there and smash first. Don't let the other team get set, because some of these teams are coming in to disrupt some narratives.
Yep. But yeah, I think both of them will be great matchups. I do.
And once again, that's Division 3. Those 2 late games will be on Thursday at 6 p.m. Afrocentric versus Keystone and Ottawa Glandorf versus Portsmouth. And then next up, Division 2. We have a number 1 seed in Proctorville Fairland, who are 26-1. And then Laurel, a 10th seed from Shaker Heights, 18-10. And then Copley, 23-3, who's a 2 seed, and the 2-time defending state champions, Purcell Marion, 27-1. So let's start with that first matchup, Fairland versus Laurel. Angie, you have been big on Fairland all year. You've even called it, I'm not going to say an upset because we're not pushing it past the semifinals, but you're looking for Fairland doing some big things in this tournament.
I think that they, as a team, just play so well together. There's absolutely no, or if they do, then they're really, really playing the game very well. But I see zero selfish ball. Zero. I just think that I think they have the speed. I think they have the size. I think they have many, many ball handlers. And again, when you want to get this far in the tournament, you've got to have more than one or two kids that can handle the basketball. And I feel like all of them do very well. I think Bailey Russell has had a phenomenal year in how she runs the offense. I love her dribble penetration. You've got Cameron that is just phenomenal behind the three-point arc. You've got Kylie Bruce. You got Bree Allen. Godby is just, there's times they just play the game well, and it looks smooth, and it almost looks like an art. And I think they've got what it takes. I do, really do. I love that. I'm going to completely butcher her name. Is it Isa Talaferro? I like her a lot. She just plays with so much heart, and those are the little things that it takes. So,
Vincent, for you, what can you tell us about Laurel? I mean, here's a 10.
Laurel's going to win by 10.
Uh-oh.
I'm kidding. We're going to get canceled. After this show, we're getting canceled.
Stand on it. Don't.
We got a baby. We got a baby on the show. We got Angie's dog last show. I mean, we're getting canceled this show. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so we might as well go for broke now. Okay. The number 10 by Laurel's name is very deceiving because that's not true. Like, they are really good. They're tough, and they've got a beyond special talent. Like, I'm talking about like
one of them
top 1, 2 in the state. Period. And we talking about one of them. Okay. And Miss Hall up there, and she has really came into herself as far as leading. It's not that easy when you're young and you're good like that, and then you're expected to lead a team. She's having to do that. And I think she's taking it personal, and I think we're gonna see what she does. It's gonna be on her shoulders. So and they've got some complementary pieces in Laurel. Do not get me wrong. Like, they can go. Mm-hmm. So this is a opposites attract type of game.
I like Tristan Williams a lot. I love how she runs the guard position. Smooth with the rock. She's got that quick first step. And she can create a lot and do a lot with the basketball. And she's a scorer as well. And like you were saying with Hall, I mean, she has no problem putting 40 points up. I mean, that's just the kind of player that she is. And what she does with the basketball is just it's truly it's a gift. And I know that she works incredibly hard at it, but she has a true gift in how she plays the game. So absolutely, I agree that a lot of this is on her shoulders too, but she's going to need everybody else to step up too against a very good Fairland team.
And not to sound cliche, but the bigger the moment, the bigger the player. This is one of those times where light shines brightest. That's when players step up. And if she's one of them, Fairland needs to make sure they at least get her. I'm like, anybody else can beat me except you. that needs to be the mindset. You know what I mean?
I don't know, Candace. I don't know if they can do that.
Ooh.
Not with her. No, she's
that. Stop. Limit. Let me rephrase.
I don't know if they can do that.
Ooh. Okay.
If I'm Fairland, you do what you need to do. I'm containing everything else.
Okay.
Because she's gonna get off. Like, we're talking about, she's a top. I think she's top 10 in the country in her class.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
At least.
She is as advertised. For real. That debate, and this is where it's gonna get interesting if they have to meet, because there's that debate going on between D and Ms. Hall.
Are you about to get us canceled?
We already canceled. I think their games are very different. I think that it's like when the reign of KK was here and you had D coming up, right? And it was like the age gap and difference. Right. And then like D has had to prove herself early. That is what Sanaya Hall is doing. She's going through that process right now. So this is going to be interesting.
But we don't want to look too far ahead. Just one of those matchups we admitted they got to get past Fairland first. But that's the first test for Ms. Hall and Laurel. Again, Fairland, a 1 seed, takes on Laurel, a 10 seed, which we're going to go with Benson is a deceiving 10 seed. They tip off Friday morning at 11 a.m. And our next matchup in Division 2 is Copley, who was a 2 seed, 25-3, and then once again Purcell Marion. And we've said a lot, on our show about Purcell. People know about them. They're a 2-time defending state champ. But what does Copley? What does their mindset have to be coming into a game like this?
Hold on, Candace. They're gonna kill me. So I'm from Northeast Ohio, which my parents lived on the border of Copley. And they are going to get on you if you say Copley. Which that's how we used to say it, but Copley, Ohio.
Copley, I got you.
Yep.
What's their mind? What do they have to prepare for? What does their attitude have to be coming into this game? Copley.
Maybe I think you try to control the tempo of the game as much as possible, because you do not want in any kind of I don't want to be in a run and gun match with Purcell Marion. I just don't. Not with the Miller girls, not with D taking basically one dribble from half court and making it like with you just don't want to get in a running game. So I almost say you slow it down some, be smart and selective with your shots. I think Izzy's going to I think she's going to play big. I think Callaway will play really well. But she's going to need, again, the help from Evelyn McKnight and Audrey Parker. Like, I think Parker's going to have to play big, use that strength and size of being 6'1" and really do well on the boards. You do not want to give Purcell Marion second chances at all.
Right.
So.
And Benson, if you're Purcell, I mean, you've been here before. You're here again. But we've seen, you said the year of the upsets. But, what do they need? What do their mindset have to be? Just saying, we've been here before. We're not taking our foot off the gas, and we want to go on a three-peat.
I would be patient. Just like if all our viewers out there that have children, and how you have to be patient. And my little one is working all of my patience today. If I'm Purcell, I'm being patient. And I'm still staying in the moment, because it can be easy to kind of get off of it. But we might as well go there, because, we might as well be getting canceled anyways. There was some words exchanged in an article a couple days ago.
Okay.
About Purcell Marion.
And
it was not good.
Okay.
It was not good. It wasn't good. They lost to Hamilton Dayton, I believe. It was some back and forth. And so I think that could not have came at a better time, because that's all a team like that needs to get going. Mm-hmm. Don't tick them off. And that did it. I'm telling you, it got the whole entire Purcell Marion community up in an uproar. Okay. So
it's another chip on their shoulder. If they didn't have one, they got one now.
Right. That they don't need. Yeah. We could see a Purcell Marion team that we haven't seen before. Literally a whole nother level. I wouldn't want to see that team. I'm sorry. I'll pass.
They're just deep. And again, I'll go back to the defense again. Their traps, C and D in the middle. She's typically in the middle, and how she can jump what looks like 3 feet or more in the air. I mean, she just covers so much. And then you've got the Miller girls that just, their hands are so active, their feet are so quick, and they just create a lot of great transition fast breaks. And in a blink of an eye, an opponent can be down by 10 points in no time. And that's the stuff that Purcell Marion does.
For sure. Once again,
they're going to press the whole game.
I will just mark that down right now. They're not taking it off. They're not taking it. Nope.
You're not running into that one.
Okay. They might in the last minute or so if the score is okay.
Mosley's not taking that off. He's not doing it.
Okay.
No. And I expect him every year. I talk about him. Remember that first year when he first won? He wore those Gucci socks.
It was yes. The slide shoe. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure.
And the Gucci belt, he gonna be mad at me because I'm calling him out on it. I have never seen
the Gucci loafers
in Gucci loafers.
Oh,
you remember that?
Dot Staley had on Gucci head to toe yesterday.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Yes,
and
she did.
Sold out. You look good. Your team play good.
There's a correlation with looking good. Yeah. So all the rest of the state, finalists for the Final Four, go buy some Gucci socks.
Yeah.
Go buy some Michael Kors socks. Some other style.
Some Louis Vuitton. So all of it.
Now I'm sorry. Are you going to see Chris?
That you've been wearing for 10 years.
Are you going to see Chris Wallace in a pair of Gucci loafers? I think not.
Chris gonna wear that same polo. That is him. Chris ain't changing nothing. That is him. I'm looking for it because it does not change. He gonna keep the main thing. But that's Mosley's style. You know what I mean? You got it. That's what he do.
Oh, that's too funny. But that is Division 2. Again, this matchup's their matchup tips us on Friday. Fairland versus Laurel at 11 a.m. and then Copley versus Purcell Marion at 1 p.m. And next up for the semifinals to bring us home, we have Division 1, the 3 seed Olmsted Falls, who are 24-3, the 7th seed Rocky River Magnificent, who are 21-6. Springsboro 1 seed 23-5, and then lastly the 1 seed Pickerington Central at 25-3. So let's look at that first matchup: Olmsted Falls and Rocky River. Now we were having debate, we already canceled Magnificat.
Cut.
That's how we call it.
Magnificat. Yeah.
I say it like Magnificat. Magnificent.
No, we decided last show we were going to say magnificent.
So Olmsted Falls versus Magnificent.
I told Coach Danny that today that we changed the entire name of the school.
Are they cool with that?
And he said that's fine.
They got to be cool with it because we can't get this pronunciation right.
and honestly, they are magnificent. They have been.
They really are
like
magnificent.
That the whole year. I'm talking about in the summer in June when half the teams don't want to play, coaches taking off for the summer. No.
Yeah,
they've been in the lab working.
Yeah, they have. I really love, they just have so many weapons. But first off, I love their size. I love their quickness. Julia Hall she's just a stud, 6-footer that can really do it all. She's got great footwork inside. She can shoot the 3 from out. I like the Roggenbergs, the sisters. The one is a junior, and I think the other one's a senior. And I think they will play big. I like the sophomore Gemma Witchman. I like her a lot. I liked her game last year when I saw her as a freshman. But yeah, Sophia Wilson. They just have a lot of weapons. They do.
And what is Olmsted Falls? I believe they were here last year, so they know.
Yep.
They know what it is. They were state runner-ups, so they're back in another state semifinal. They're a 3 seed. What's their road looking like?
Danielle Cameron's just had a phenomenal year. How she handles the ball, and she just outstanding 3-point shooter, and she creates shots for her teammates as well. But you can see her playing big. She played big last year in the tournament. I think that Jessie Simon, Simon. Yeah, she's a sophomore guard. Watch her as well because she can shoot the rock from deep. And when she's picking pockets, she's gone. So, they've got a lot. They've got a lot of outside shooters that can get it done. And so, I would say for Magnificent that they cannot just focus only on Danielle Cameron because they have other weapons. And I think some teams have tried doing that to Olmsted Falls, and they just have other ways. They've got a lot of weapons. So,
and they're going to spread you out. They're going to shoot it, and that makes it hard when you can space the floor. They're going to be patient. They're going to be poised. They've been there, done that. And again, we've talked about this, but this is a team that, they've been there, done that, but they still understand the level of execution you have to put. You have like that been there, done that at Division I is totally different.
Yeah.
Right. So the team that we're talking about with Magnificent, if you recall, remember last year, we were talking about this young team that would play amazing over the summer and won a tournament. That was Olmsted Falls. Now it's Magnificent. How the tables have changed. So it's gonna definitely be a good game.
And now they meet up, and you have to assume too. Olmsted Falls getting here last year, getting to a final. They want to lift the trophy.
Yeah, they're hungry.
We get waved at in the camera.
Hi.
She said, I'm tired.
And our last matchup, we almost done, baby girl. Springsboro versus Pickerington Central. Let's start off with Springsboro, since all three of us have gotten a first-hand look at what Pickerington Central's road has been. So Springsboro in a state semifinal. Let's talk a little about them.
Bryn Martin, she just really can dominate the game. And looks comfortable doing it. But she's been playing that way for such a long time. But yeah, I feel like she's got eyeballs everywhere and can just see the floor so very well. I like her a lot. I like Chloe Downing. I think she'll play big. Watch Morgan Meek. She knocks down a couple shots, and I love her. I love her passing, but I think she's going to need to play big too. Yep.
I'm looking at the journey that they had to take to get here. Like people that to come out of Cincinnati like that,
make it out of Cincinnati,
and they had to win some big games. And there were games that, just like any other player, that I'm sure if you ask Bryn, did she play how she wanted to play? She'll tell you no. So now you get a second chance at a state tournament. You're gonna come with it. And I think that's what we're gonna see. But I have to say this, I am beyond proud of Springboro and those young ladies, because I think coming out between Anaya Trent and Bryn Martin being young talents coming out, they really got hit hard. They got expectations were high for them. I'm talking about on the national scene, in the state, and I don't think people talk about that enough. These young ladies have done it. They're here.
Right.
So we can't stop talking about them now, because people said stuff about them when they weren't making it, when they were underachieving. Now they get here. We've got to congratulate them. We've got to. So I'm excited for them. And I think it's going to be a good game between them and Pickerington.
And like you just said, their matchup is going to be between Pickerington Central, just like similar to Purcell in terms of where they've been ranked this season. Both have been nationally ranked. The McDonald's All-American and Barry Wallace, we've seen in their regional final game, just up the ante defensively. So what do we look for Pickerington Central to do? As long as Coach Wallace doesn't get mad at us because we say he's not going to have on Gucci loafers. But what is Pick Central?
I know I will hear that from him.
You lose 7 seniors. You have a Division I point guard, another one who went to Division I at Columbia. You lose them. You're back in the same place. What do they need to do coming into this semifinal with this team?
I think your veterans play big, and Barry's ready for that. Jaden Tucker, she's ready for that. And then you've got some a little bit newer blood, but still like young blood. Blossom is just, I've said it a million times, she's one of the best defenders I think I've ever seen. She is just her intensity. I love it. I love her intensity. I think Kennedy Gordon is going to play big minutes in this game, and her defense is outstanding. She takes care of the ball. She makes the right cuts at the right time, and those are the things that are going to need to happen. Zoe Coleman, diaper dandy freshman, girl can hit the rock from anywhere. She's going to need to do that again in this game. Okay, I'm going to butcher her name. Is it Michaela?
Michaela Asamoah?
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I like her. I love her strength and size. I love how she battles, and she makes sure that the opponents feel her presence. Let's just say that. Like, you might need a couple ibuprofen after the game.
For sure.
So she likes to bang around.
Faith King, did a lot of the little bitty things that doesn't really get recognized in that third quarter. Michaela was tipping ball. She was taking the ball to the rim. Even if she didn't finish, her teammates were right behind her to get the offensive board. But a lot of that was from their activity on the defensive end and then increasing the pressure on the offensive end. So it's those players who do, the grunt work.
Yep. Faith's battery is never ending. I mean, she can do circles around people. So again, I think that this really may come down to the defense and how intense Pickerington lays it on, and how will Bryn Martin and Trent and all of them, how will they respond to that? So I think that's going to be a big key to the game. Yeah.
Well said, Angie. Well said. I think you nailed it. I think it's going to be on the defensive end. I think that, one thing that I got on Pickerington about is that they'll go through these spurts where they just take off. They get bored. You know what? I'm done. This is boring. And you can't do that. You can't do that. And there were a couple of times that, they did it. They had spurts of possessions where they did not capitalize on certain things. You can't do that in the Final Four like that. So I expect them to, smooth that out a little bit, play a lot more consistent of a game, but they've definitely got it on the offensive end and the defensive end with all of the weapons. That matchup is going to be, it's going to be good. I'm going to have my popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Watch Riley Bess. I'm telling you, I just, it irks me when a lot of coaches will be, oh, well, her size. I'm done with that
Angie.
crap.
I'm
done with that crap.
Say it, Angie. We're getting canceled anyways.
She is D1 caliber,
and she can shoot.
I don't care if she is a $105. I don't care, because she's quicker. She gets around the people, and she's got handles that can make her go wherever she wants to go.
And she's smart.
She's smart.
She is very smart.
Like, she's setting you up. And I agree with you. I think her side, and she's put in, and I'm not saying the other players haven't put in a lot of work, but she also was injured and came back. I ain't seen too many players do that. Stronger than what she was.
Stronger.
Exactly.
Yep. So, I think that she, game in and game out, like, she has been consistent and has been a rock for this team as well. So, again, a lot of weapons that Pick Central has as well, too.
For sure.
And again, they know what it's like to get there. And I'll tell you what, those nerves, they can do a number on you. They really can. They can make the basketball feel like it weighs 25 pounds. Nerves are real. Pressure is real. So how is that going to be handled from both teams? How is that pressure going to be handled from all of these teams? All divisions, all games. Because you can have the greatest plan, and but
get out there and
you let that pressure get to you. You let the pressure of, like, playing on Dayton's court. Oh, like, my land, I could feel the butterflies when no one was around me the last 2 years, and I was just shooting around on the court by myself. You feel that, like, it's a sense of awe, like. It's
You've got a lot of fans there.
You've
got a lot of fans there. There's a lot of components that you can't control. In every game, you got officiating. But again, it's a different stage. Like, it just seems like the time shrinks in those games, and your adjustments have to be quicker, and your players have to be able to adjust quicker. So, I never got a chance to get to a state championship. I was very upset. Still bitter. So I lived through these young ladies. Last year, I won 3 state championships. I did. This year, I expect to win, 2, 3 more. So how am I going to handle the pressure of whatever we said tonight, that we don't get canceled, because we put out some pretty harsh, predictions. So, we'll see.
Billie Jean King says pressure is a privilege, and hopefully all those teams take it and enjoy the moment, play their best, their hardest, and put on a show down there in Dayton. Once again, the Division I state semifinals, Olmsted Falls versus Magnificent, is Friday, March 15th at 6 p.m. And then Springboro versus Pickerington Central is a late game on Friday at 8 p.m. See, we talked about each team, but we did not get into predictions. I'm not putting you guys on the spot like that. We're not going to do that. We'll save that for the pre-show that will be live at the state tournament at the University of Dayton 4. But before I let you go, it wouldn't be girls only if I didn't throw a curveball, because there's some things we got to talk about really quick. 5 minutes. We're going women's college basketball, because there were some great games yesterday. We had the Big Ten championship. Nebraska had it until Caitlin said, forget y'all, let me knock in a couple threes. But it wasn't just her. Her teammates played big. And then Hannah Hidalgo and Notre Dame. You shouted out KK. They won the ACC tournament. But obviously that big one, SC and LSU.
Oh.
Somebody got dropped. Somebody got dropped in that game. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. It was so dramatic. My anxiety was through the roof watching that game.
But, you know, I loved it. Like, I don't, even their first matchup, I don't think I've been that amped for two teams playing against each other in a long time, because in the beginning, at least in the first half, they let them play. Now, they paid for it in the end when things got out of control, but they were out there hooping.
So why didn't Flage get ejected? Because technically, she threw the first shove. She did. She went for Watkins, which I would not have went for Watkins. I'm sorry. That's
who grabbed someone's hair? Who grabbed somebody's hair?
That was
I thought I saw
that was Angel. Angel grabbed Camilla's hair. Camilla got beat up.
Oh, you talking about during the game?
During the game.
Yes.
Because during the fight, Angel walked off.
No, Angel's ankle was hurt. She was protecting the brand.
She said, "I'm not doing all this.
I ain't losing the NIL money. You're already on my back."
Okay.
No.
And Flage's brother will never clear that scores table. He went through 3 people and didn't hit nobody on the landing. And then why was the security guard late? He flying over too. Like, what is going on?
It was the most stalled thing. But you see when he got down there though, he grabbed 6, 7 by the waist. He said, "Whoa." He said,
I didn't think she was that. I didn't.
No. He underestimated that high. He said, "Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm just playing.
But that was pure adrenaline. He got down there and said, "Oh." He was waiting for Kim Mulkey to hold him back.
I couldn't believe that, man.
And she said that she thought she was. And did you? Who was the guy from South Carolina with the sweater
that was skipping?
That was skipping. I said, "What was you gonna do? Where was you?
He was just skipping." He had that late skip to the fight.
And I was like, "What is you doing?" Like, but you know what I thought? All seriousness, which is not serious, but Flage going up to Don Staley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And apologizing as there was just a legacy respect there.
Yeah.
And you gotta be so proud of that, because Flage understands the legacy of moving our game forward.
Fact.
It's not too often that you see my child eat stuff she ain't got no choice. You don't like the Flage situation? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't see that very often. And the fact that she did that in an embrace shows that connection that we are building amongst the two generations, right?
Sure.
That was powerful. But I don't think Flage's brother thought that she was that tall.
Oh, no.
No, he
didn't see Brazil when he got down there. No.
I heard he got arrested.
He did, girl. He got charged.
For what? What was the charge?
I don't know what the charge is yet, but he got charged. That's what they saying.
It's probably called stay in your seat.
Just, you gotta stay in your seat. This ain't. We've been into.
But I will say,
you can't jump over the stands.
He probably did hurdles, because when he cleared 3 people, it was like Free Willy. It was like Free Willy, and the score table was like, the man cleared it, and then you didn't even see him until he got up there.
The head went up just like this.
Now I'm not gonna lie. Had it been UConn and something was happening to my coach Gino, I would have been running from the stands too. And I just want all of y'all to imagine that moment for a second. I want you to imagine me running.
And making if you would have flew over that score table.
Gino would have been like, "Angie, get back here."
If Angie would have flew over that score table.
Yep.
We would have made so much money.
We sure would have.
We would have made so much money.
And that would have been my moment to meet Gino.
Gino would have been like, "I love our fans. They fight for us."
Word on the street, last thing, word on the street is that, Candace, you didn't have a problem with what Kim Mulkey said.
Oh, don't play me like that. Don't play me like that. Don't play me like that. Kim Mulkey was dead wrong. Like, she
was wrong.
She was wrong. This is my thing about Mulkey. I'm all for being you, and like Kim Mulkey ain't gonna change for nobody. And there's a sliver of me that's like, okay, you can take some pride in that. You're not changing for nothing. But I do think, as Don Staley showed, as a head coach, you got to think of yourself above the game. And there's a responsibility being one of the faces of the most talked about program. As much as Caitlin Clark gets attention and Don Staley in South Carolina and UConn, LSU is like the best reality show in women's college basketball. And I think Mulkey has a responsibility to think above the game, because truthfully, if the shoe was on the other foot, she would have congratulated. And that's what she would want Angel to do, is go protect her player. Like, I don't have an issue just in the basketball sense with what Camilla was doing. Do I think she should have halted it because of how important she is? Absolutely. But you protect your players. That's what you tell everybody in the scrum. It's like, I'm not going to let anybody chin check you, but you do got to realize and recognize the moment when you're Camilla. But Kim Mulkey, you do have to understand, like, you would expect an Angel to do the same thing, and to come out and say, I wish Camilla would have pushed Angel. Like,
that,
come on.
That made me cringe.
Like,
that was bad. That was like really bad. Because it's like, that's not the type of culture we want in our game. Be competitive, right? Like, no problem. But when it's just like, you wouldn't do that. Like, we on the street. Like, it should. I think Cordoza didn't realize that she pushed Flage that hard. She don't know her.
She did.
Get a buzzer beater the 2 nights before, and now in just.
She had the strength of everything in that arm.
And then who's to say that she actually pushed her? Maybe she was just saying stop.
Or maybe she just went,
Well, Kim Mulkey did call her little. I mean, it's 6'7", 5'7". You know what I'm saying? She didn't have
to call out her height like that. And then she called out the whole coaching staff. Why the coaching staff had to get ejected? I'm like, man,
that was the crazy part too, and I'm glad they cleared that up. They were like, all the players on the bench who got ejected can't play the first game in the national tournament. I was like, what? But it's only Camilla that can't play. Everybody else is still eligible. But
Camilla cannot play at all?
Just the first game. Oh. Just the first game. But she'll be available for...
And I thought that Cordoza putting out an apology. Like, again, that's the type of culture we want in our game, because let's be honest, we're on the grassroots side. That we are.
Right.
We are on the grassroots side. High school, youth, we're on the grassroots side. Those girls watch that.
Yeah.
Not only did they watch the fight, they watched the response. That's why I was kind of upset with Kim about that. Like, you can't do that, because now coaches going to think that's okay.
Right.
Players gonna think that we had more fights this year. Well, no, we didn't. But we had some bad ones this year in college basketball.
Right. Right. But I like the animosity. We need rivals in a women's game, but we do have to make sure, as Asia Wilson said, just keep it on the floor. That's it. Remember, it's ball at the end of the day. And real quick shout out to USC. They won the last Pac-12 championship ever. And we all thought it was going to be Juju put it on the show, but it was her teammates and what their head coach out there is doing. I don't think she gets enough credit. Golib, I think is her last name. I mean, she completely flipped that program. They're ranked 3, and they haven't been ranked that way since 1983. And I'm like,
I'm sorry, what? 1983?
1983. That's Cheryl Miller years. They have not been ranked so high.
I don't even think I was born.
I wasn't either.
I was.
Shut up.
76, baby.
But they bought into the process. And now, like, look, you have Notre Dame, USC, Stanford, South Carolina, Iowa, LSU, UConn, Virginia Tech. Like, there's so many different teams. NC State. Like, there's just so many. The parity in women's basketball. Well, we had to talk about that real quick because, you know, we made it silly and everybody be talking about it, but I had a good time when I was like, what is that dude jumping out the stairs like that for? Okay, I'm going to keep it together.
Again, I just want you to imagine I am saving Gino and the rest of UConn should something ever happen. I just want you guys to visualize that.
Angie, you better not leave your seat. I'm telling you. If you do, you better guarantee
right
that
now,
we
you
get
know
rich
I
off
would.
of you flying over people. Because that wasn't no short scores table. That was one of them official ones.
Hey, just ask Tamika Williams-Jeter.
He cleared that with 2 seconds. I think the uncle that was sitting right next to him didn't even realize the man had got up.
Oh, no,
He was going that fast.
See, two other uncles jumped out the stands, but the security stopped them. You got to catch that piece. Let me get off of this because I got a field day with this story before I fall apart like we did when that lady joined the JV team and me and Benson couldn't get through the rest of the show. But thank you guys. As always, good luck to all the girls at the state tournament. We wish you all the best of luck. Play your best. Follow Girls Only Hoops. Myself, Tenishia, Angie, Prep Girls Hoops will be at the tournament live. We'll be doing a pre-show. Come up and see us. Join the show if you like. Like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that good stuff. We'll keep you updated. Thank you, and we'll see you at the tournament.